Some signs that you might be experiencing weaponized incompetence in your relationship. You do all the household labor because it's an extra step to ask your partner to do it and then have to explain exactly how to do it. You feel resentment because you feel like you're doing a disproportionate amount of the work. Even if your partner agrees to do the work, you're over-explaining the steps or constantly looking over their shoulders or just expecting that you're gonna have to redo all of it. You don't feel like you can go to your partner when something unexpected comes up. You think they're lying about their ability to do shared responsibilities. You're constantly hearing things like, I don't know how to do that, or I'm just not good at it, or you're better than me.
Yeah. What is your son's birthday?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one, because I don't know.
What grade is your daughter going into?
9th grade.
What color are your daughter's eyes?
Brown.
That is incorrect.
They're blue. I have a brown-eyed daughter, though.
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Why do you do this to me?
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, yesterday!
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Yes, May 28, 2009, August 8, 2013.
Listen, I don't care if these men die alone. At this point, they're asking for it. I know it's tempting to believe these men are exceptions. Take it from someone who deals with families for a living, they're absolutely not. I'm a peds and neonatal nurse. These individuals don't even remember their baby's date of birth in the NICU. I once had a dad register his baby with a name spelled wrong. Plot twist, his child was named after one of his own parents. I've had dads visit the ER unable to tell me if their child had an allergy. About 2 years ago, I fed fish to a child that subsequently suffered an anaphylactic shock that almost killed them because the dad forgot to mention it in the baby's history. Diaper sizes, shoe sizes, the name of their daycare. Has your child ever had a surgical intervention or have they ever been hospitalized? I don't know, I'll have to call my wife. Besides dropping the baby off in the morning and going to the park on Sundays, what do you do? This man in the video, you could abduct his child off the street right there. A police officer could be standing behind him and he wouldn't be able to give a description of his child without looking through his phone to make sure he got the right eye color. Bring back shame. The issue is that when we see a man appear that does all the right things and is invested in his children's lives, suddenly they become a demigod. It's not supposed to be that way. I fall for this too. I'm always amazed, and I feel so bad.
What are you talking about? I help you around the house all the time. You help me? You don't live here? You know what I mean. Yeah, you're right, I do. You mean that it's my job to take care of the house and that you sometimes do me favors by helping me. Listen, all I'm saying is I did a load of laundry yesterday. You think you did a load of laundry? You can't dispute that I did a load of laundry. You're telling me I didn't? You put one load of laundry into the washing machine, and that's the end of what you did. So suddenly, laundry doesn't count. Let me ask you, who's going to put the clothes in the dryer? Who's going to take the clothes out of the dryer? Who's going to fold the clothes? Who's going to put the clothes away? Come on, you're just better at that stuff than me. If you're always going to complain about everything I do, I'm just not even going to help you anymore. That really wouldn't be much different than what's already happening.
If women would just let men lead, there would be literally no reason for marriage counseling. It would cease to exist because relationship satisfaction would be at an all-time high, right? Wrong. That little intro is what we hear from men who run podcasts, alpha motivation accounts, toxic masculinity, true masculinity rhetoric. This explains it so perfectly. Yet again, in another example of character blindness, we have all kinds of men who go on to propagate and perpetuate these ideas and notions and beliefs and perspectives that women don't let men do this, or if a woman does this, it creates this outcome. However, the men that are saying these things are blind to the fact that these situations, reactions, relationship dynamics are in direct response to a failing of the man. So let's go back to weaponized incompetence. You got a guy who doesn't want to change the diaper because he's weaponizing his incompetence because he wants his wife or his girlfriend to do it for him. But instead, he would rather complain about it and say it in a passive-aggressive way that creates a situation for her where she has to commission him to change the diaper. Yes, you change the diaper when it smells like poo. What do you expect? And then he's like, wow, you're kind of grumpy. That's kind of masculine of you. You're in your masculine energy. Now I'm going to go cheat. Now I'm going to break up with you. Now I'm going to get in a divorce. Now I'm going to freaking lock up and stonewall you because I don't like the way you're treating me because you're not nice. And she wouldn't have even had to come at him like that if he would have done it in the first place. So all this stuff that men complain about is 9 times out of 10 a reaction to something he is blind to the fact that he is failing to do, that she has to compensate to save the marriage, to feed the children, to change the diaper.
Hey, I got you some water and more of your medication. I'll just leave it right here. Sorry, I totally forgot you were up here. I fell asleep watching the game downstairs. So how you feeling? You all right? The same? All right. Oh, I wanted to ask you, did it start in like your throat? It did? Shit. No, I'm just starting to feel something too. I think I might have what you have. I should probably rest and take it easy the rest of the day myself. Might have to call out of work tomorrow. All right. What'd you want to do about dinner? No, I know you feel terrible now, but it's only like 2:30. You think you'll feel good enough to cook at like 5 or 6? No. Okay. All right. No, it's fine. I guess I could DoorDash something or figure something else out. I'll just check on you in a couple hours just to be sure, though. Also, the stuff on the side of the washing machine is starting to pile up, the clothes and stuff. Which, no, I can't wash. I don't know how to work the washing machine. There's way too many buttons. No, it's fine. You know what? After I shower, I'll just pick something out of the dirty laundry. Don't worry about it. Okay. All right. Oh, also the stuff in the sink, all the dishes and stuff. What do you want to do? No, I know you have your way of washing them. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. All right. No, it's fine. You know what? I'll just let them soak, and then we'll see how you're feeling in a few hours. We'll deal with it then. Other than that, everything's good. Okay. You good? All right. I'll be downstairs watching the game if you need me. Text me.
Hey, morning. The baby is crying for you. Are you gonna get up? Apparently it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. The boys are making you some breakfast. Do you have a tray or something they can put the food on? I think the baby just wants daddy. Do you want to just show me where the tray is? I can't find it. What do you want to do today? Did you make any plans? The kitchen is a disaster. Don't worry about it today. Father's Day. You can just clean it up tomorrow. I would clean it, but I don't know where anything goes. Hey, can you come downstairs and watch the boys? I gotta go to the bathroom. And I'll probably take a quick nap.
As I really try to process now as a middle-aged man is the full extent to which I really thought that I was the main character. I'll just give you an example. Early in our marriage, my partner and I, say we'd be going on a trip. My partner, at that point in time, would be doing the laundry, vacuuming the house, making sure the dishes were done. And I would literally think like, well, yeah, but you don't have to do that. Like, that's you wanting to do that. It's not what I want to do. She would get everything ready, and eventually I would say, oh, now it's time to get ready. And I would go, and this is not a joke. This literally happened on more than one occasion. I would get like a backpack or a suitcase or something, and I would get my own clothes. And then I would get like 2 or 3 books that I wanted to read. And I would literally bring highlighters because I'm a nerd. And I think, I'm ready. I'm ready to go on the trip. Looking back, like, what? How could I possibly think that was okay? And the thing is, when we had kids, it didn't stop, right? My partner would do all the work to get all of them ready, and make sure they were bathed, snacks packed, and I would get myself ready. I think, oh, I saw my own father do this quite a bit, where he would take care of his own needs. So I know I didn't learn it from nowhere, but I also had to unlearn it because it never was okay. I thought that my role was to do all these things outside of the home, and that the home was, woman's domain. I saw that modeled and even taught as the way it should be, but oh my gosh, is that not partnership? And that sucks. So if you are a person, especially if you're a man and you think that division of labor is okay, like you shouldn't be married. Like you shouldn't be in a relationship. And I shouldn't have been at that point in time. And that would have made me so very mad. Because I would have like, what more do you want from me? Turns out, quite a lot.
Here's the difference between weaponized incompetence and just not knowing how to do stuff.
Ugh, you're so much better at cooking and cleaning than me. Why don't you just do it?
Can you help me change this tire? I have never had to do this in my life.
That makes total sense because I can't either. Let's call a mechanic.
Okay.
have a story that will make your blood pressure go to the roof. So a couple years ago, a post went viral on Chinese social media. A new dad is asking for help. And his question is, we just have a newborn baby. And suddenly my wife starting to ask me to do a lot of things, like helping her with dishes, helping her with chore, and helping him with the baby. So the dad's question is, what can I do so my wife will not ask me for help? And hundreds of dads provide their advice to this dad. The answer with the second most like said, just play dumb. Every time when your wife asks you to do anything, just play dumb and make things messy. Like you have a low IQ, you don't know how to function, you don't know how to do. Even she told you a million times how to do those things. Just pretend you don't know how to do those things. And eventually she will never ask you to help with anything. That is the second most like answer. Let me tell you the top most like answer. So the top most like answer is actually a reply to the second most like answer. So top like answer said, okay, that is so immature. Let me tell you how I handle it. So every time when my wife asks me to do something, I will immediately do it. And sometimes I will even voluntarily to help her with certain things, like cleaning the dishes or helping with the baby, change the baby's diaper or feeding the baby. But I will intentionally to mess things up. Like every time when I voluntarily to feed the baby, I will make the milk too hot or too cold. And every time when I voluntarily to do the dishes, I will break a glass or two. So every time I will mess things up on purposely. But every time I will voluntarily to help with my wife. So she will feel grateful that I'm willing to help. And she will understand that I want to help. I just cannot help her because I cannot do it as good as she did. So at the end, my wife stopped to ask me for help, but she also really appreciated that I want to help. And thousands of dads copied that answer and said, bookmark it, learn it. I'm gonna do it when I have a kid. The worst part is, there are thousands of those kind of men in this world, and they're not ashamed about it.
I've been dying to talk about this. Because on this app, we talk a lot about weaponized incompetence in men, but one thing that we don't talk about, and the poster put this in the comments, is weaponized ignorance. And it's when you know you don't know, but you put no effort into learning. So literally, I want to say this to every guy who's preparing to get a gift or an experience for a woman that they care about. If you give her a gift that she has to then do work to actually fully enjoy, you did not give her a gift. You gave her a task. How would you feel if she said dinner's ready and on the table were just a bunch of raw ingredients? Because that's the equivalent of what you're doing. So if you get flowers, you cut them and you put them in the vase. If you're planning to go to a nice restaurant for a family dinner, you get the kids ready. You prep them ahead of time. You make sure that the reservation's there. If you want to do breakfast in bed, guess what? You are going to do the dishes and you are going to clean up the kitchen afterwards. Because gifts aren't tasks. And if you think she doesn't notice that laziness...
Hey, can you wash the potatoes on the counter?
Yeah. Hey, this palm olive is good to wash the potatoes, right?
Oh my gosh, Brandon, you're supposed to use water, not soap. You just go in there and sit down and I'll take care of this.
Weaponized incompetence. Trying to call this comedy is making light of an issue that is serious. There is a stress gap between men and women. Compared to men, women are twice as likely to suffer from severe stress and anxiety. Married women do more housework than married men. When men and women marry each other, even if there are no kids in the picture, women do more housework than their partners, on average. Yes, even when they make the same as or more than their male partners. The only time you see that average shift is when women are the sole providers. And it's like this much, he does a little bit more. Men have more free time than their wives. Even among teenagers, boys are spending more time on leisure than girls. Why isn't weaponized incompetence funny? Because it's oppressive. Because failing to do a good job on purpose makes you seem unreliable. Failing to do a good job on purpose is opting in to breaking their trust. It's setting up a situation without their consent to demand their time and energy. Your failure to put in a good faith effort leaves them no other choice but to overcompensate for you. When you use weaponized incompetence, you put your needs and interests above theirs. You remove their autonomy and choice. You take their time and energy and access to opportunities without their consent. Not funny.
Your marriage ends here because your man starts behaving like a child. Women aren't attracted to children. It becomes a mother-child dynamic or mother and son dynamic, and that's where the sexual appetite for the relationship is lost and the mutual respect. So, yeah, that is going to end the marriage.
I think it's kind of funny when people don't understand the mental load and why it's such an issue for so many women. I find it funny because, of course, you don't understand the mental load because you don't have one for your house. But I guarantee you, if you were to tell those men, if you had a coworker that's been working at the same company the same amount of time that you cannot rely on to do their job properly, and as a result, you have to constantly pick up their slack. Because at the end of the day, the work still needs to get done. So if you can't rely on your coworker to do it, then it's gonna fall on you, or else it's not gonna get done. So sure, first you might think your coworker doesn't know how to do whatever the thing you're supposed to do is. So you show them. And the next time, they forgot. They don't remember anything that you'd said before. So you have to show them again. And after enough times of this, you start to really doubt whether in fact they forgot or if they just don't want to do it. Tasks your coworker does do end up having problems that you have to go back and fix. And after enough times of that, you're going to be a little apprehensive to let them do the task because you can already anticipate the issues. Watch and you see how if you don't pick up the slack and handle it or organize it or plan it or whatever, it just won't get done. All of a sudden, everything that needs to get done is on your mind. It's on your brain. You have to keep tabs on them. Did they do that part? Did they do the work? Have they gotten everything they need to get? If you follow up too much with your coworker, then they're going to tell you you're nagging them. Why are you micromanaging me? You're not my boss. At a certain point, you're going to realize, wait a second, we've been at this job for the same amount of time, in the same position. Why am I doing so much? And now when you bring it up to your coworker, they tell you to make them a list. And then they'll do it. Just got to make them a list. Not to mention the fact that the list is for a job that you guys have both had the same amount of time at the same place of business. Why do you need to make the list? Shouldn't they be able to make a list themselves? How long are you in business with that person? At the end of the day, when women bring up issues of mental load or unequal labor at home, this is what we're talking about. A partner in life that we share the life with started at the same exact time. If you have kids, you had kids on the same exact day. It's about being reliable, saying what you're going to do, and then actually following through. If people brought the same kind of energy to their domestic life as they do to their workplace, things would be different.